Naval Air Station Oceana is the master jet base for all East Coast strike fighters in the United States Navy. The base actually was built on Potter's Farm. It was World War II, 1943, August of 1943. The Navy bought the farm from the Potter family, who still live here in town. And it started out as an auxiliary airfield for Naval Station Norfolk, and then it became a master jet base in 1953. We have about 315 Hornets and Super Hornets here in Oceana, and so you'll see, we do 200,000 operations a year out of here, so you'll see them taking off and landing, going to do training.
I see underneath the wing this rectangular part. That's indicative of a Super Hornet. The one behind it, those behind it have a circular or oval intake.
Okay.
That's a Hornet. It's a smaller plane by about 33%, I believe. So these planes, if you were to sit one right next to the other one, it would be bigger by 33%. This one is a Super Hornet. It's an FA-18E Echo. It's a one-seater.
NAS Oceana and Dam Neck have about a $1 billion economic impact in the city of Virginia Beach. Again, we employ about 16,000 folks, both civilian and military. We live in this area. We buy homes in this area. We shop at the stores. We eat at the restaurants. We call Virginia Beach home. Many of us, some Chesapeake, some Norfolk, but many in Virginia Beach. So I think it's a great relationship. The city of Virginia Beach, surrounds Oceana, showers us with love, and we do the same. We love living here. Well, our budget is in the millions of dollars, and we just completed a $37 million upgrade to our runways. Actually, it's finishing up here in about 2 weeks, and 3 of the 4 runways were basically redone. So, and then we finished a $19 million project out at Fentress, which is our auxiliary landing field. We have a budget in the hundreds of millions of dollars to operate and to maintain the base here. We do things pretty efficiently here. We work really hard to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. We, in the shore side, have been pretty lean for a long period of time, allowing a lot of the Navy's budget to go to operational forces, as it should. But in these times of decreasing budgets, where we've already been leaned out, our biggest concern is how do we keep the level of service that's required when our budgets are shrinking pretty dramatically. So that's what keeps me up at night, is to maintain the quality of service that our sailors and our civilians deserve, and our citizens deserve, with the shrinking budgets. This is where all the old planes go to get retired. I guess this is where I'll go too when I retire. But it's kind of neat, because this has airplanes that have been that have stationed here at Oceana from almost its existence. So we started out with propeller planes, but for the most part it's a master jet base. So you'll see jets that flew during the 1950s and 60s. We have the workhorse from the Vietnam War, the Phantom and the Crusader. And then behind me you'll have the Hornet, which is the Navy's workhorse strike fighter that is getting kind of the end of its time as well. What you won't see out here is a Super Hornet. The Super Hornet's our newest airplane, and they're so new that none of them are retired yet. So the only place you'll see those on the flight line. I think if you look back at our history, I mean, Oceana's been around since World War II. Aviators in this command that have been stationed here at Oceana fought in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Iraqi Freedom, Afghanistan. You name it, we've done it here. And every time, our families are here. Virginia Beach is where we call home. People love living in this area. People don't want to live. I don't want to leave. I don't ever want to leave this area. It's fantastic. I think you just look at the history of this base, and really, since World War II, men and women have flown out of this air station, gone on aircraft carriers, and gone overseas to defend the country. And the people back here that support that mission, they're heroes as well, and we can never forget that.